Dhamma and Sangha. May all people healthy, safe, and peaceful. Welcome everyone to Buddhist Service. This week, the weather getting cold and colder. It's also in Washington State, raining still going on in November. How everyone doing? Good so far. Good to hear. Something that's happened before is about coming back. Every one of us experience something about coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic. Some of us seeing from the news, we saw the news, it's about that. Some of us heard about that. We hear people talking about that. Some people passed away. Today I would like to talk about the teaching of the Buddha in the Nikaya. The Buddha talking about 6 senses. Some people talking about 5 senses, including this one, mindfulness exercise. So it came from positive psychology. They're talking about 5 senses. Sense from the body. What the 5 senses? From internal, we have eye, that we can see the form or see object, as we know. Sometimes what we see, we may like it or dislike it. This affect to our mind. It's called contact. And if we keep within our mind, it's called perception. Whatever we see, we remember that, we keep in our mind. That's going to affect to our life overall. For example, if we see something beautiful, we enjoy it. But if we see something we don't like, some kind like for example, domestic violence or hatred or some thing going on that's hurt people around, it's going to affect to our mind because we keep in that. It's contact between internal sense to external sense. When the eye see the form, it's affect to the mind because we keep that, we remember that. Unfortunately, many of us remember the bad thing that we seen before. The good thing that we have seen before is easy to forget. So that's why the Buddha mentioned about the mind is very important. It's not just about when we see things, but because we keep in our mind. So the Buddha talking about mindfulness. Be mindful what we see because it's going to affect to our life. Sometimes we can avoid seeing something. The second one, the Buddha talking about ear. Every one of us mostly have. If we not disabled person. The ear can hear the sound, this external thing. When we hear something, it means something to us. People use the music to help sleep at night. people love to listen to some kind of music. We can spend lots of money sometimes because of we want to go to see music, to listen to the music, go to concerts or something. So this is effect to us. But how about the sound that hurt our mind, hurts ourselves? Like the sound from the wall, from the battlefield. Many of us still keep that sound, even we come back from the field, come back from deployment. We still keep that sound in our mind. When we are about to go to sleep, that sound just wake us up. This is effect to our life. The Buddha teaches us how to be mindful of that. The sound from the past, the sound in the present moment is different. Something already done in the past, but we still keep in our mind. That's why that sound just come to bother us sometimes. So learn how to be mindful of the sound that we hear every day. Number 3, nose. We smell good or bad, depend on. We smell almost everything. The food we eat, the clothes we wear. So, how much we are aware of this? How many of us learn how to be mindful of what's come to our nose? Especially right now, we cannot see what we smell. We have this one to cover, right? This one, at least have this on to help us to scan something we don't want is come into our body. So all these sense support each other. Eye, ear, nose, and then the tongue is another one. What we eat, we not just eat something without the taste. Many of us spend a lot of money to go to different kind of restaurant, try different kind of food, because of we want to have good taste. But the life in the Buddha perspective, we just tasting, we just eating because for us to be living. So if we learn how to aware of what we eat, we can maintain our body well. Because what we eat comes to affect to our life. Some people say what we eat we become. It can be this way. So learn how to be mindful of this. Our tongue can keep us good or bad, depending on. For example, many of us may experience about taste of alcohol, especially over the weekend. Service members, sometimes we spend a lot of time just relax, because many of us thinking about, oh, we do all many stuff, and then on weekend we have a day off. We have our time. But if we do not learn how to be aware of what we taste, whatever we taste is going to control us. So just learn how to be mindful of that. So that's why in the Buddha time or in the forest tradition, the monk eat food, put everything in the bowl. So whatever taste is there, just put in the bowl and then come to the same place. Because the monk just practice not to just addict to the good taste or bad taste, but just about something to eat for the body to keep going, to have some energy. So something like that. And then another one is about the body. Any parts of our body, when we touch something, can link up to our mind. Sensation. As a human being, normally, we attach to many things that we touch, especially for opposite sex. We have sexual desire because of touching from time to time. The Buddha mentioned about that. As a human being, this is normal. If we learn how to limit ourselves in appropriate way. But if we go further than that, we are going to get trouble, because the end of touching desire or sensual desire never ends. We need to learn how to limit ourselves. What is enough for us? What is in the middle way for us? It's not too much, not too less, not too little. Even like in a simple way, our body needs to touch the ground when we sleeping. If we sleep too much, instead of we going to have energy, we getting tired. If we sleep less than normal, less than 6 hours, 5 hours, 6, 7 hours per month, if less than that, we are going to get tired too. It's some kind like the body has something. But in order to touch in this way, when we sleep, we take a rest, we get some energy. So some touch that we keep doing that can give us about the pressure into our mind or something. For example, if someone we don't like come to touch us, we may feel different. Right. Before that, before COVID-19 come up to the world, in Western culture, we shake hands, some kind like a greeting. But now we cannot. We use the elbow. In Thailand, where I came from, we use this way. We call Sawadee Krap. Some kind like a hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the time. So we use this one. We don't touch each other, but we touch each other from the eye contact and the mind contact each other. We can feel this kind of people. We can be friend or not. We can go with or not. Depend on that. So, and then the last one, mind. So the mind is different from face, idea, and practice. Even in psychology is talking about this a lot, but it's different from Buddhist perspective. The Buddha talking about the mind overall, it's content with feeling, perception, thinking, or thought, and also wisdom. It's some kind like a fully awareness. So the mind from internal sense can touch with external sense like feeling or imagination. So what we keep in our mind, we can feel, we can imagine. This can become our idea. How many of us are aware of this? So from this, I just said everything is come with our life since we born. If we are not a disabled person, we have eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. How many of us are aware of this situation? How many of us are aware of what we have and manage or maintain it properly? Some people see something and get angry and then cannot control their own anger and run to trouble. Some people hear something, people yell, and then get angry or have something going on and then they get upset, feel different way. As same as when we smell something, taste something, or touch something, or feel something, how we are going to handle our own mind. Because what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we touch, what we feel, come to our mind. And also when we keep in our mind from time to time, it's going to be our capacity, our tool. Sometimes like we have everything and then we keep in our room, we keep in our house. Even sometimes we said, oh, we eat through our mouth, taste this one to the tongue and then go to the body. But the thing is not just the body, just feel that. The mind too. Eat body alone without the mind involved, it's not going to be too much. Because when we getting older, we cannot eat too much. The body will have limit itself. But the mind still want to eat something, want to see something, want to smell something. When I came here, I heard some people go to taste wine. Just want to see different kind of wine, different color, different taste. They have a season for that. And go out and taste and see how this affects the mind. Some people pay lots of money because of some small bottle of the wine or alcohol or liquid or something. Because of that. So overall, I talk about this because I would like to encourage everyone to be mindful of what we have and then limit it as it's supposed to be. Not too much, not too less, not too little. Example like we eat. If we eat too much, we cannot move quickly. I remember when I first joined army, before I run. Normally when I will stay at the temple as a Buddhist monk, I don't run. And then when I come to join army, it's a different story. I have to learn how to run. I drink glass of milk. I add some coffee in there, and then it's about 30 minutes after that I went out to run because I never have experience about long run and go faster than just I used to do before. After I run, it's about halfway. I go faster than normal because I want to make a better time for run. Just like Army physical fitness test. So just try that day. I was about to throw out because something from inside just is not go on, so it's still stuck in there, and then this make me feel like, oh, because I drink too much before running. So this I have learned something from that. Every one of us, if we learn how to aware of what we drink, what we eat, what we put in our mind, what we put in our body, it's going to affect to our life overall. What we feed our mind and our body is going to affect to our life. Imagine every day when we wake up, what we hear in the very beginning. Word of motivation or some bad news that people fight each other from the news or whatever, yell out to each other. The first sound we hear in the morning when we wake up can make our day. What we see in the morning when we wake up can make our day. So from now on, I would like to encourage you who listen to my message. Learn how to scan what you're supposed to see, what you're supposed to hear in the morning, because it's going to affect your life entire day. For example, in some small family, in the morning, the sound that mother and father yell out to each other, and then the sound of the baby crying out. Can you imagine if you happen to be there? How it's going to affect your life if you have to prepare in the short time to prepare yourself to go to work, and then people just yell out at you. How it's going to affect your life and that day. So, every one of us have a chance to choose our choice, to make change, right? Every one of us have a chance to choose choice, to make a change. What is better for us? Learn how to do so. I cannot tell you exactly what. I'm learning on my own. Every one of us have our own experience. But whoever pay attention on what's going on in their life wisely, properly, they can choose. Because whatever happened yesterday can return to us today and can return to us tomorrow. For example, today Thursday. Next 7 days is going to be Thursday again. But story, scenario, situation may be different. Learn how to scan, learn how to choose better option. We have choice for our life to change in a better way, so we can live our life better every day. So this is what I have with you all. So came from situation that's COVID-19. We call COVID-19 right now, November 2020. Almost a year, but still going on. When the weather getting colder and now rain in the north, so what we smell, what comes around ourselves in the air, we cannot see. But from our experience, told us to have masks on when we go out to public, to protect ourselves, to protect people around us, can be a sign of respect too. Before COVID-19 come to global, especially in America, I talked to safety officer. He said normally the mask just only for medical team or those who get sick. But right now, everyone need to have this. Become the new, what do you call, new story, new picture overall for our society. I don't know how long we are going to have this. But in order to keep ourselves safe, healthy, we need to have masks on to protect what we smell, what we breathe in, because it's going to affect to our life. By this way, situation teach us who are going to learn, who willing to learn. That person going to know how to prepare for better life, better situation. He or she can choose better choice to change his or her life in a better way. So we live in changeable world. Things come and go. Things change all the time. Today, we may feel healthy as a service member, as an Army Chaplain. So I go out for PT with soldiers. Sometimes I go out by myself or with my religious affairs specialist to go out to exercise every working day to maintain my body. But I cannot know what I breathe in going to affect to my life. So, but society changed. So I have to learn how to have this one. In very beginning, it's very hard for me to have the mask on. But now become part of my routine. I need to have this every day when I come to work or when I go out. So I need to have this in my car. Sometimes I have two, one in my car, one in my pocket. It's weird, but we are going to learn how to live our life. Things come and go through this. So if we learn how to aware of our sixth sense from internal, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. When it's attached to form, sound, smell, taste, touch, idea, or something that we keep in our mind. So sometimes we don't need to get involved in everything. What we see, for example, if people gathering together, if for something to support society in a better way, it's okay too. But sometimes if they're gathering together, fight each other, or make trouble, we don't need to go to get involved. Learn how to become aware of that. What we hear, what we smell, what we taste as well. So we don't need to respond everything. We see, we hear, we smell, we taste, we touch, or something come to touch our body, or something that's come to our mind from our own perception. We don't need to respond to that. So the better way or appropriate way the Buddha respond to think that sometimes he keeps silent. Learn how to keep silent. Sometimes don't need to say anything about what we like or what we dislike, especially for like right now political thing. So sometimes we don't need to say anything. We just keep learning, listening. If we don't say anything, nobody gonna do anything about it. So learn how to keep quiet, not to say things. Sometimes better than say many things, and then people don't understand. That's why some moment in the life of the Buddha, he meditated a lot. In the morning, he keeps silent, listening to what's going on from inside. Meditate himself in the morning, in the evening. Before going out to see people, he meditated. I would like to encourage you and invite you to meditate in the morning, at least 5 minutes, to start your day, to scan your own feeling. Feeling can come along with this one, emotion. Over here, some expert talking about emotional intelligence or emotional quotient, so EQ. So when I study Master of Divinity in Buddhist Chaplaincy, I talk about that a little bit. And then when I study master degree in Buddhist study in Thailand, I did research in EQ and meditation. Because meditation can support practitioner to be aware of the eye, to see form, the ear, to hear sound, the nose, to smell thing, and then the tongue to taste thing, so the body to touch something. Even be aware of the mind when the mind thinking about something. Because whatever comes to our mind is going to affect to our life. As much as we learn how to listen to that through meditation, learn how to apply the moment of silence to your own life. If you feel nervous, if you feel fear, if you feel angry, if you feel any kind of feeling, just take a pause and allow the moment of silence to take place. At least you have a moment of awareness. You have a moment of mindfulness. You have a moment to refocus, to readjust what you really need in that moment. So we have, it's about almost 10 minutes. I would like to invite you to join me in the very end. In meditation, I'm going to use this bell at the side as we can begin meditate together. Normally when meditate, I use the breathing as the meditation object, because I breathe since I born, and then the breathing will be with me until I die. So as and as every one of you in front of me, we have same common ground. We have breathing. So I would like to invite you to refocus on your own breathing. Breathing in mindfully, breathing out mindfully. Pay close attention on the breathing. around is come and go by itself. Just learn how to be aware of the nature of breathing. Keep focusing on the breathing. Readjust, refocus as much as we want, as much as we need it. When the breathing come and go, just keep observing it as it is. If our mind wander or run away from the breathing, gently bring it back and then observe things going on along with the breathing.